Welcome everyone. Let us share truth, that truth which is our very self, that truth which belongs to no one in particular, but it is what we are. Because nobody can own truth, and because that which is real can never be defined, can never be expressed, can never be captured in words, in ideas. In order for us to share truth, there must be openness, complete openness. Not openness to anything in particular, but the deep openness to everything that we are, to everything that is, which is the same. So I invite you to release your hold on the various movements within you, of your minds, of your emotions. I invite you to leave your thoughts alone, for a while at least. Not to pick them up, not to follow them, not to fight them either. I invite you to let everything be as it is. Your body as it is, with whatever sensations it may feel. Your emotions, whatever they may be. Let them be what they are. Give them space. Give the whole of your being space. Unbound space. Give all that you feel, think, that space which you cannot see ending anywhere or starting anywhere. Give your being that space which cannot be measured. And just be alert as you are right now, simply aware. And allow this awareness that is happening right now to be acknowledged in the most simple but also profound way. You are simply aware, and you are not responsible for this awareness at all. You are not doing awareness. You are not the one that pulls the plug on or off on awareness. Awareness simply is. and there is nothing you can do to make it go away. There is also nothing you can do to influence it in any way. You can influence the objects of your experience, but all the objects of your experience, whatever influences you can produce in the field of experience, they are all being cognized as they are in this simple, vast space of consciousness. This space of awareness, of consciousness, is unconditional. Everything that you can be aware of as an object of experience will be always contained in it. And yet, that very space is not touched by any of your experiences. This awareness is not an experience. It is your very nature. It is the very source and ground of everything you experience. Simply acknowledge that it is. Acknowledge it directly. Don't try to think about it. This space of awareness is the closest thing you have. It is closer to you than your body. It is closer than your thoughts. It is closer than your feelings. It is so close, so persistent in everything, behind everything, within everything, that you constantly ignore it. Instead, you are focusing on the field of experience. So now I invite you to release your focus on experiences of any kind and let it flow back to its source. Awareness has no taste, no color, no shape. It has no sensation. You cannot capture it by your mind, by thinking. It is subtle. It is mysterious. It is profoundly transparent, pure. It does not allow any kind of contamination. It is forever pure and free. There is no question about any kind of influence. There is no question about creating it. It is timeless and constant. So our role, the only one, is to recognize and acknowledge it. And to that I invite you right now. You can leave all your worries behind you. Everything that is in the way of your openness. Everything that is in the way of being completely available. Let it be as it is. Release your hold from that. Releasing is simple. It is not a fight. Releasing doesn't leave a mark. It is a natural flowering of your wisdom. So if this invitation resonates within you, then you feel safe here, safe enough to release your thoughts, your worries, your concerns of any kind. Your thoughts are active only because you give them the role of giving you certainty, providing for you a sense of safety. But this is not required right now, because you are completely safe. You are absolutely secure. As you hear those words, as you observe the movements of your own mind and heart and body, see that all of that is being contained. It is being perceived. It is not being perceived by that which claims I. You may hear in your head this voice that you are used to so much, that claims everything as its own. It says, I feel, I think, I see. And in the same way you may think that you are aware, giving you the illusion that you are somehow responsible for this awareness. Awareness simply is. You are not responsible for it. You are it. And this little voice in your head is contained in this vast space of consciousness, just as any other experience you ever had. Now with this seeing, Allow yourself to simply rest in that space of awareness. There is nothing that you should do. There is no riddle to solve. There is simply acknowledging your sacred nature and allowing this acknowledgement to be all that matters. And the only challenge here is not to focus again on any kind of experience, but to value that field of awareness itself, in which all experience is being known. No matter what you do, no matter what kind of thoughts come to your mind, your nature is this space of awareness. Always was, always will be. You may ignore it and focus back on experiences and have the illusion that you are that experiencer, that image of yourself that owns this body, its movements, thoughts, and the objects of life in general. But even that illusion is already contained in that space of awareness. So it is always about recognizing that which is true, acknowledging that very consciousness which you are, and not contracting yourself to the various experiences of body-mind. To fully be what you are is the only possibility of peace, of complete contentment, of ultimate fulfillment, happiness and joy. I invite you to glimpse into that nature of your own self. And if it hasn't come already, there will come a moment where you will not want to be disconnected from this recognition of yourself anymore. Then naturally the pull of your mind, the pull of the ego self, will become weaker and weaker. And you will find yourself longing to acknowledge and rest in your own self. This is what life is all about. This is the magnificent journey of life. This beauty, this magnificence, unspeakable, is more yours than you could ever own. To own anything, you have to be distanced from it. But this is the very fabric of your being. You are completely unified with it. You are one with it. It is beyond ownership. It is your very self. Now that you finish watching this video and you are going back to the daily life, remember to remain as open as you are right now. You are safe and secure, much more than you think, much more than you could ever imagine. You are completely embraced by the grace of everything, by the magnificence of existence. Have trust and don't limit yourself for the sake of creating artificial, illusory security. Remain open. Remain available. And the wisdom of life will reach you deeply, profoundly. And if you will allow, it will transform you completely. It will transform your perception. And eventually, there will be no trace of fear, of anxiety of any kind. There will be no trace of suffering. And you will be a radiance of joy and light and beauty and love as you truly are. So, keep open, keep available. And in that openness, the daily life, with all its experiences, will be seen fully. And the fullness of that seeing will release you. Whenever you experience your mind creating a reality of suffocation, of resistance, of suffering of any kind. If deeply you are still open, still available, then this very mind, with its misunderstanding, will be fully seen. And once it is seen as it truly is, you will feel that your urge to grasp it, to hold on to it, will start to fall away. As you allow the state of separation and its manifestation through thinking of yourself as a separate being, a separate entity. As you will allow this to be fully seen through openness, it will start falling away from you, as it will be seen as unnecessary. Slowly, through your openness, all that is unnecessary, all notions of mind which are a result of a misunderstanding, of a confusion, will be revealed as not needed, and you will be released from them. Eventually, only that which is ultimately true will remain. If you allow yourself to remain available and open, and from that openness to face your daily life, then in that space of openness, that which causes your suffering, your identification with the false, wrong notions of your mind, will be exposed. And as they are exposed, the necessity to hold on to them will naturally drop. And you will become free from them, from their hold and weight. Slowly, through openness, availability, and deep intention for truth, everything that is unnecessary will be seen as such, and only that which is completely and ultimately real in you will remain. You are not this body, and you are not this mind. And yet you cannot take my word for it. because it is your seeing that truly matters. The only benefit from what is being said is if you have trust, then this trust will allow you to actually inquire into it yourself without fear. If you trust what is said, what is pointed out here, you will allow yourself the space to see through your attachment to mind and body without any interference. You will have the courage to allow those attachments to rise and fall. And you will remain, allowing it all to be seen in its entirety. Eventually, all false notions of your mind about what you are will be exposed. And you will recognize that space of seeing, of perceiving, that very space of consciousness, of awareness, as your own self, free and unbound, divine and sacred, all embracing. The key is always in your pocket. This you should know. You are awareness. You are godliness. And the key is simply to allow this to be seen by releasing the focus on what you perceive now as true. By releasing your focus on the objects of life, on appearances, on ideas, releasing your belief that they are true, and investigating directly that very space of awareness, allowing it to be recognized, valuing it, and surrendering to it. Your life is a journey of unification, of the most beautiful blossoming ever possible. My blessings are with you. May the peace and joy of your own self guide you and shine through you at all times. Thank you for listening.